Welcome to the Prosperity Playground, the podcast where business meets energetics, strategy meets soul, and prosperity becomes inevitable. I'm your host, Anna Lozano, mom, founder, investor, mentor, and energetics in business expert. This is your weekly activation to rewire how you think and feel about wealth, success, and personal power, because it's not about working harder, it's about regulating deeper, aligning stronger, and receiving wider. You don't hustle for your future, you calibrate to your higher self. Join me weekly for high-level conversations with the world's most inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders. True prosperity isn't just about money. It's about alignment, freedom, expansion, and embodying your worth. Welcome to the playground. Let's build your most prosperous life. Welcome back to the Prosperity Playground podcast. My guest today is Angie Lee. Angie's a college and corporate dropout who decided to screw the rules and forge her own path. She's not just a podcasting powerhouse. She's a fireball keynote speaker, a marketing whiz who's generated 7 figures in digital courses, the co-founder and creative brains behind Soul, an 8-figure wellness brand, and a silly goose who will make your abs ache from laughter. Angie is obsessed with helping women ditch the doubt, build a business that gives them time freedom, and create a life that lights them the F up. Angie started a blog in her dorm room. Now, 14 years later, she's the queen of the baby grandmas, her devoted community who can't resist binging her no BS girl talk and inspiration. She will give you the kick in the panties to start before you're ready, make money doing what you love, and most importantly, have so much fun in the process. You guys, this episode is juicy. We dive into the founder story behind Soul, how it started in her spare bedroom, fueled by her and her brother's personal health struggles, and how they grew it into a multi-8-figure wellness brand. We dive into the power of community and storytelling as business strategy, why building a loyal community and doing the unscalable, like answering every DM and sampling generously, became the foundation of Soul's success. And of course, we dive into their newest line, Out of Office, and how it's tapping into the booming alcohol-free movement, redefining how we relax, socialize, and feel good. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'd love to hear your feedback. Let's dive in. Angie Lee, welcome to the Prosperity Playground podcast. I am so excited you're here. We met like in Chicago 2013-ish, which is so wild. And I love your journey. You're a freaking badass. I have all the things here. And I really want to start with your founder story because you and your brother, 2018, you and Mike Lee, founded Soul, science-backed CBD products. And that was way ahead of its time when you guys launched. So starting from packing order spare room to a multi-8-figure business, take us behind the scenes of how it all started.
Yeah. And that's so, first of all, I love that the word playground is in your podcast because I think that play is such medicine and basically life is a playground. So I love that. Yeah. And that's so crazy. I was like 23 years old. That might have even been 2012, 2013. I was selling USANA and I remember you were crushing it. And I think we met at some events there and that was such a wild ride in my life. And honestly, that was one of my first stepping stones to entrepreneurship, actually.
Me too.
Right outside of college. I mean, when I was 20, I was super young and I didn't even know what commissions or direct sales was. And I was trying to figure it out, but I would sell a bunch of the protein and the Rev drinks to my personal training clients while I was launching my health blog. And so it's so funny how it all kind of started with selling those products. And I was like, oh, it's fun to sell things to people. Maybe I should keep doing this in other ways.
Maybe I'm good at this. That's exactly where we met. And it was Chicago. It was at a conference. Yeah. Then we hung out at, remember Chris Bass Norris's condo downtown? Like,
yes. So oh my gosh. I wonder what he's up to. Yeah. I'm from Chicago. So that's so crazy.
Such a small world. This feels full circle. And like so much has happened in between. I feel like we've lived like 10 lifetimes.
Wow. Yeah. And then are you with USANA or no? Not anymore. It's been a while,
It's been
right?
a while. I mean, that was over a decade. And same thing. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty good at selling shit. What do we create out of this? How do we create a business, a brand? And so it's like the perfect playground to start building some experience.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, I want to create my own shit
Exactly.
now. What do I want to create?
And you thought the
So,
same thing, and you
yeah.
guys did.
Yeah. Mike and I started it 2017, 2018. I think we had the idea in 2017. It finally went live in 2018. And yeah, it was such a ride because my brother was a professional athlete. He was in a lot of pain and he was using cannabis to help him with his pain, CBD specifically. I was an entrepreneur building my brand. I was using, honestly, our oil tinctures a lot for PMS and cramps because I had really, really debilitating period cramps. And I didn't want to just take a bunch of Midol. And so he was like, oh, you should try CBD. And I was like, what is this? Am I going to get high? And he's like, no, you will not get high. You should try this out. And so I would just like drink the bottles when my period was about to start because I was like, I have to find something natural for this pain. So we both fell in love with it. And then I was kind of kidding one day, but not kidding. And I was like, hey, we should start a business around this. We should do this. And sure enough, what started as CBD tinctures now has grown into a microdose line called Out of Office. I mean, we have many different SKUs now and it's really blown up. And we started it in my spare bedroom in LA. We packaged everything. No idea what we were doing. This is before ChatGPT.
Yes.
So I would like to say that we had to Google everything and we had to ask people and hire people who were a few steps ahead of us and say, hey, how do you even sell this? Where do we find the farms to find the organic product? Where's the warehouses? And then how does the farm talk to the warehouse? And then, okay, we need a website. How do we set up Shopify? Like there are so many parts to a physical product that I think women maybe don't see and know. So I love to share the transparency around that and how much I think it's a lot harder than selling courses and knowledge-based stuff on the internet because you actually have freaking inventory. So my brother, who's a CEO, thank God, I'm so grateful. He really was determined to figure it out, call everybody he knew who was smarter than us and say, how do we do this? How do we turn this into a legit business? Angie has this brand and community. I have this community. We'll at least make our first $500,000 to $1 million just based on her community and tribe. Let's try this out and let's just start messy. I mean, our first SKUs were just CBD tinctures. And I remember literally we would joke and he would say, well, yeah, it's not like we're ever going to do gummies one day, or it's not like we're ever going to get into also THC. And that's hilarious because that's such a huge part of our business now and how it evolved. And honestly, it's what the customers wanted.
Yes.
People were saying, hey, we want something a little bit more. And hey, we also want gummies. That's more enjoyable than the tinctures. So what it started as is not what it's evolved as, but what it has evolved into. But I think that's such a great lesson in just ride the wave and you just keep ebbing and flowing and pivoting. But it's been a wild ride. And
such a wild ride.
Fun.
And you're so right. Like owning a product-based company is so different than, and I mean, you fast track, you wear all the hats. You're the janitor, you're the operations person, you're the marketing, you're the sales, you're all of it. But take us back a little bit more detail through that first year, because so you guys had this idea, you fell in love with this product because it was serving his health, your health. And what did that look like? And how did your first year look like in terms of sales, in terms of marketing? What was the marketplace saying back to you guys when you guys launched?
Yeah, it's so funny. I can remember our very first order. And she was a woman in my audience and it was $200. So I was like, oh my God, we're rich. Like we're done, right? We're set for life. We're loaded, right? And my brother looked at me, he's like, dude, we have so much inventory to sell. That is nothing. We are not rich. We're not going to be rich for a very long time. I'm like, oh, like a year, right? He's like, no, many years.
Many years. I just have to say that first cha-ching though, like from a product-based business, it's like everything. And I get you. That was like, we made it. We got our first cha-ching.
Yeah. And it's proof of concept, right? It's like, okay, this is a thing somebody wants and she likes it. And then she told her friends and they bought. And I just remember that launch day, just seeing the orders come in and we were like, okay, this is something real. We could do this. And then, there's a large overhead. We didn't realize that we'd have to soon start hiring people. And my mom and one of my best friends helped us to package things up. And so for a while, we kept it obviously super lean until it got to the point where Mike was like, all right, we actually have to have legitimate employees full time that we pay now. So such a blessing, but also the dance of the realities of a product-based business and a lot of different businesses is you're putting money back into the business. You're not just paying yourself right away. So even when people hear, oh, 8-figure brand, it's like, I'm not sitting there just paying myself all of it. Okay. Yeah. That's not how it works. I got to buy the product at the warehouse. And now we have like 30 to 40 employees. I mean, it's really grown into something a lot bigger than we anticipated. So yeah, in the beginning, I remember it started with my audience, which I'm very transparent about because I always want women to know it's audience and customer and community first, or I shouldn't say audience, but I always say community first, product second. And we really focused on nurturing that audience, asking them, what do you want? What flavors do you want? What would you love to see next? What pain points are you struggling with? And then creating products versus just pulling something out of our butt and then hoping people buy it. I think that a lot of people think that's the way marketing's done, when in reality, you should create products that solve problems for people that are already right in front of you saying, hey, this is what I need help with, versus just making something up. And so we answered every single DM. I still do with a lot of the soul community. What do you like? What do you not like? What do you want to see more of? I mean, we were in it. It was so gritty. And yeah, that first year was amazing because I feel like, because I did the hard work for so many years of building a community and brand, when I came out with a physical product, it wasn't as much of a shock to my audience because I had been talking about wellness for so long, and I'd been talking about PMS, and my women trusted me. And so they knew, okay, if she's taking this and she's ingesting this, obviously this is legitimate. And so that was such a proof in build community first. Like, you just really need to do that. And it's not fun, right? I know everybody's like, I want to launch a fashion brand. I'm like, spend the next 3 years giving fashion tips and using affiliate links, and then come out with your fashion line. Because
huge.
It's just so much harder to do it product first, you know?
And you do such a great job. You just recently did a story too, is like, you want to build a community, but you don't show up in your DMs, right? Like that's something that you've done from the beginning up until today. Like, when you receive a DM, you respond, and sure, it might take a few days, but you're in there, and that shows your authenticity and your engagement and your heart. And it's not showing up to sell a product. It's like, hey, we got this. We're in this together. How can we make our lives better? And you do such a phenomenal job with that. So I think that's a big first hack, is build the community first and then offer a solution to that community. And so did you initially think it was going to be for pain, PMS, or did you guys start more broader with different products?
We always knew it was going to be anxiety, sleep, and pain. And under pain, obviously, is cramps. But what's cool now is with Out of Office, we've really also niched into wellness gets to be fun, and you get to let go, and it doesn't have to be so serious. And we are now really dominating the alcohol alternative space. And so what started as just anxiety, sleep, and pain, now our two biggest SKUs are Out of Office, which is obviously for anxiety, sleep, and definitely pain still, but also for fun if you just want to feel a nice gentle buzz. And then Sleepy Gummies and the sleep line. So sleep is definitely one of our huge sellers for sure, because everyone struggles with sleep. And so, yeah, we kind of ebbed and flowed, and we realized over time, oh, wow, we're not as much of a athlete physical pain brand. We really noticed that people wanted help with anxiety and sleep. Those two things are just, we all struggle with it. I still do in certain days, on certain days. So we definitely found that those two pain points did the best for us. By the beginning, we anticipated it would be a bunch of athletes buying it for post-workout. Right. And it's like, no, it's the moms who want to have something at night, but they don't want to have a glass of wine, or it's women struggling with cramps, or it's somebody's dad who's struggling with sleep. I mean, it's a lot of sleep and a lot of anxiety.
This is huge. And I feel for all entrepreneurs is we have an idea of, we're going to launch this product and this is what it's going to be for. And then the marketplace literally dictates, right? They tell us what they want more of. So what led you guys to create Out of Office? What was the decision behind that? When did you know it was go time for another product line?
Yeah, I'll be really transparent. It's so funny. I always say never, cue Justin Bieber, because I mean, we started as a CBD tincture line, and we literally thought we would be a CBD tincture line forever. And now here I am looking over at these cases of these Out of Office drinks here in this office. And I'm like, what happened? And I'm so happy and I'm excited, but it just shows it never ends up being what you think. And it's just so crazy. What happened is we started to survey and poll our audience, and a lot of our audience was saying to us, and it's not who you think it is. It's always like the soccer moms. It's not the stoners. Okay. They were like, hey, we want something a little bit more. And what's hot right now is a microdose, which means you put a very, very tiny amount of THC. I'm talking 1/10 of what you would usually see at a regular store or a grocery store or at a gas station. We're putting 1.5 milligrams of THC in there, blended with some really calming CBD, which is really nice. And we found that, well, my brother was kind of like, all right, let's just test it out. And I was like, I don't know. Even I was nervous about it because I was not a big cannabis THC girly. But I liked it. I was like, oh, this is gentle. This is mellow. This isn't too much. This is great. And so I liked it. I was like, okay, let's try it out. And sure enough, I mean, we couldn't even keep it on the shelves when we launched that first day and told our email list. It just went bazonkers. And so there was a moment where my brother was like, oh shit, we're on to something. Like, this is really what people really want help with. And it's not what people think. It's not somebody who's like, oh, I just want to get high.
Right.
Majority of our customers, I mean, maybe some if they want to get the higher levels that we have now, but a lot of it is people, anxiety, sleep pain, or I have social anxiety. I want to take this going to a party because I don't want to drink. I mean, it's not what people think it is. A lot of it's moms who are just very stressed out. They need a little something, something. And so, yeah, we're serving a market that really wants something natural with zero side effects that can give them that gentle buzz. And so that's what Out of Office is. And it's really fun and it's great. And I don't know if in Canada this movement is happening as much as it is here in the US, but the alcohol alternative movement is blowing up. So we didn't mean to do this, but we timed it so perfectly because even Gen Z and even this, I'm a millennial, we aren't drinking really. Like, we're like, no, we rather do some cannabis or we rather do other things. They don't really want to drink as much. And so my dream would be that there's a day where you walk into bars and you see all these different options. You don't just have to get a beer. You could also get an Out of Office. You can get a bunch of different spirits that can give you a feeling without having to drink alcohol, because we know alcohol is obviously so bad for us. So
I love that.
So yeah, I'm more passionate about the alcohol alternative movement for sure, because I don't drink really, and so I want to give people that option.
So is that one of your strategies, is to show up in places that normally just serve alcohol and saying like, hey, would you guys consider this as an alternative?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We're in some shops in Austin right now, and that would be the dream, the game over of like, if we could get into bars and be in every bar, and I'm looking at the can right now and have Out of Office in there. I mean, yeah, you'd be surprised. There's so many bars now where, I mean, mark my words, it's 2025 right now. In 2030 or 2035, this will not even be a thing. Like, you'll walk into a bar and you can get obviously still beer, wine, hard liquor, and then you can be like, oh, I'll take a Out of Office or I'll take a whatever other brand, and it's going to be the norm.
I love that.
And I feel like there's going to be a day where we are like, oh my God, I can't believe people used to drink so much. That's so weird.
Right? No.
Who wants to be hungover?
It's exactly what happened with cigarettes, right? Remember, like, smoking on planes was a thing. Like, how crazy to even
Stop
think that.
it. No, that was never a thing.
I'm older than you.
No.
It was a fucking thing.
I know, but no way. Wait. How much older? I'm 35. What are you?
41. And yes, people would smoke.
Only 6 years.
Smoke at the back of planes. You don't remember that?
No, I must have been. Wait, what year was this? Was I flying yet?
I was probably like 9, and my parents put me on an airplane by myself with my brother to Poland, and people were smoking on the back of the plane.
I can't. I mean, I knew this happened, but I don't remember. I must have been too young and hadn't flown yet, because, oh my God, if somebody even thought of doing that now, the thought of that is so weird. We're in a little tiny bin together and you're going to smoke.
Oh my gosh. Or even like when I started working, so maybe I was 17, 18 at bars, London, Ontario, people were still smoking. Like, how disgusting. And then you'd get home, your hair smelled, your clothes smell. Yeah. So absolutely, like, this is something you guys are creating that is a whole new genre, and it's going to become the norm. And I love that you just said yes to it. You're like, this feels good. How are we now going to bring it to the marketplace? Tell me about some of your epic marketing campaigns. That's something that you do so brilliantly. I mean, you're fucking hilarious. I love watching your thing. Your mom is hilarious. Okay, you got to bring more of her to us, because I had no idea.
I know. She's so good. I love her so much. She at first was like, don't film me. I'm like, okay, fine. And then now she's like, hey, are we filming today? She'll text me and be like, do you want to do this skit? And then she'll send me a TikTok. And I'm like, sure, Mom. We actually just did a really, really funny one that I can't wait to post. I think I got a brand deal for it. I'm really stoked. So I'm like, hopefully that goes through, because we just spent all day filming it and I scripted it. And it's fun because she plays along and she knows how to ad lib well, but also can read the script and memorize. So it's really fun.
You guys are just naturally funny. And it's like, it's so good to watch. Okay. So tell us, you did the truck with Out of Office in New York City. What else? Like, what else are you testing? What's working? What's bringing the sales and awareness? Tell us the juicy details.
Yeah, we now, oh my gosh, we have a full-time events guy who is here in Austin. He's awesome. And we are at events every single weekend now. Sometimes Mike and I will go to them. I love to meet people. We obviously can't make every single one, but we are at all of the events right now. There's one called Coffee and Chill here that there was like 1,000 people there the other day. And it's a bunch of young people trying to find healthy alternatives to drinking and test out all the brands. And so we're going to a lot of events. We're really trying to get do the groundwork of spreading the word here in Austin and then keep going to different cities. Unfortunately, because of some legalities, we can't do some of the things we would love to do. But I would love to keep pushing the envelope and doing what we can do. But it is hard. That's the one thing that is frustrating about owning a brand, that there is some legal regulations and constrictions around, unfortunately, in 2025, when it's just hilarious that like you could walk down the street and go buy tons of liquor, but then it might be, there might be some rules about getting some THC.
100%.
So yeah, we've tried to do a lot of interesting, I'm trying to think with Out of Office. Yeah, we're trying to do a lot of interesting campaigns with different influencers, a lot of live events. I just hosted an event here called Recess, and that was sponsored by Out of Office, and that was really fun. It was a women's dance party, and everybody drank that out of office before they danced. And so I'm really passionate about bringing it always into my own women's events that I host. And then we are now, really trying to get into events here in Austin where we kind of were before. But now that Mike and I both live here, we're like, okay, we should be at events pretty much every single weekend because there's so many here, and really just trying to get the word out and get feedback from people because it's
I think
fun.
Once people test it, taste it, experience it, that becomes a customer for life. I think this is the most important thing in marketing these days is experiential. Like get your product in the hands of your ideal client. And, post COVID, when everything went online, we didn't have that many opportunities to do this, but it's like going back. I remember when we built our affirmation brand, that's what we were doing. We were, at Pottery Barn, at events, getting people to, hey, choose an affirmation card. And then people were still questioning, like, what is this? They had no idea. Once they read through it, connected with it, they're like, okay, this is a product that I can see myself using with my kids, using with my teens. And so getting in front of our ideal audience. So you've said some key things here. One is build the community. Spend time, invest time in building those relationships, build that community, events, get in front of your ideal customers, allow them to experience and test your product. And also you being out there and meeting people as a founder and saying like, hey, like I'm doing the groundwork. Cause it seems like with this product launch, you're kind of back to being a startup founder. You're having as much fun as you did at the beginning with a lot more experience.
Yeah. And I was at the event the other day meeting people, and I looked at my brother and I'm like, this is what this is about. Like, why else are we really doing this? I'm doing this because I love hearing from a woman who our sleep gummies are the one thing that helps her to actually finally sleep, or, oh, this is the one drink that allowed you to finally give up drinking so much. And now you don't have hangovers and headaches. Like, I want to hear these things because if not, this in online business, it just feels very numbers in, numbers out, numbers in, numbers out, a name, number in, out. It's just a little game. It's just a little video game you're playing if you're not adding humans to it. So that's why I love events and love being there. And so it's probably weird that I'm still at some of these, but I'm like, hey, and then they'll be like, oh, do you work for this company? I'm like, kind of came up with it, but yeah, sure. I just always like, yeah, sure. And they're like, oh, that's so cool you're here. I'm like, yeah, because like, honestly, it's a Saturday morning and I don't have kids yet. So you know what? This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing is I'm hanging out here. And so I think it keeps the human touch. And Mike and I really want to keep the brother sister duo, the storytelling and the human touch as part of the brand, because the brands that are going to stand out in 2025 and beyond are the ones that have community and storytelling. Yes. I always say those are the two things, community and storytelling. And if you can double down on those two, it's not going to matter what happens with AI. People want to buy from brands that they love, they trust. They want to buy from brands that are sharing the story, that they feel like, oh my God, these siblings actually started this and they care about this. And the other thing I was going to mention too is, when you mentioned something, is doing the unscalable. I think that's really something that people don't want to do because we're in this era of just scale and keep getting bigger and 10 figures and nine figures and blah, blah. And it's like, answer the DMs, say hi to the person at the event, actually give a shit, sending people product who once in a while, I mean, I probably do this a few times a month. A girl will DM me and be like, hey girl, I got to tell you this story about my grandma and how your product helped, or my mom. And she'll write me this huge, beautiful story. And I'll be like, listen, would you be open to sharing some of this testimonial? I'll send you free product. Wow. I mean, I'm just always doing the unscalable, and that ends up being a super fan who then becomes a cheerleader because she tells her mom and her grandma and her friends. And now we've got 6 people on auto ship who wouldn't have been on auto ship if I didn't take the time to read this DM and say, you know what, I'm going to send her something. I'm going to send her a thank you because you're the reason that this exists. And sampling is so huge. You mentioned that about the events. Like, if you have a product that tastes good and gets people results very quickly, which you can't say about every industry. A lot of industries, maybe it's clothes, maybe it's, you sell candles. I mean, something that you can't really get the full effect right away, then it's a little bit more difficult. But with our product, it tastes so delicious and you can feel it right away. So we're sampling like it's nobody's business. That is how you grow a business like ours, is you are very, very liberal with your sampling and you just give it out to everyone and their sister, because the return on that is always so high. Like the chances that you try Soul and you don't like it are so much lower than you liking it. So yeah, I'm always sampling. I'm always giving out stuff. I mean, that's huge. I think people don't do that enough. And our mentor who's ahead of us told us that, who has a similar brand that's even bigger, said, you have to sample so much product. Like, do not be afraid, because that's kind of your marketing, and see it as money that you would put into marketing. So
100%.
definitely keep sampling.
Do you guys have investors or no?
We have one now. Yeah. But in the beginning we did not. And so, yeah, it's been a wild ride, because I remember the moment where it's so funny to think about, because it's like so little to invest in a company now, but I was making a lot of money online with coaching, and I was like, you know what? I'll put $60,000 into this. You put 60 in, and we'll just see what happens. If I never see that money again, I'll never see it again. And if I do, awesome. Hopefully I get a return. And yeah, it's just crazy to think that it was a good bet. But yeah, I think I was in a place where I felt like I wanted to and could take the money from something else I was doing and put it into this. And that was really, really helpful. And then once we got an investor, that helped out a bit. But I don't suggest a lot of people get one right away. I think do what you can in the beginning and get scrappy, and you want to own most of the company. You definitely do. And we still do. So you want to own most of it. You do not want to just give it away right away, unless you're like on Shark Tank or something.
Absolutely. And the bootstrapping, the amount of lessons and experience that comes from that. And it's great that you said like 60K. That's how much we invested into our product business as well. It's like, you need to also, there's people that have these big dreams and goals, but if you're starting a product-based business today, at least 100K to get it off the ground. And that is going to go, I was talking to Lori Harder, she's episode 1. She invested $1 million, with investors to start. And that money goes so fucking fast. And so.
Oh, it really does. That's why people think $1 million. I'm like, dude, $1 million, you have to buy
inventory.
In the beginning, it's just inventory, and you don't have the numbers yet. You can't be like, yeah, we'll take 7,000. So then they bring down the price point in bulk. Exactly. You can't do that yet. You're like, I'm buying 100 units of something. So the price point is insane.
Profit margins are horrible. And so I think, and the reason why I asked about the investors is because you have one. It's why you get to do these things. I feel like a lot of brands that are scaling and it's numbers focused, you don't get to say, you know what, I'm going to sample X amount of cases, because I know that once someone tastes this, they're going to be a customer for life, and they're going to be the cheerleader. They're going to spread it word of mouth. And so keeping that in mind too, is like, you can scale without investors. It's your decision, obviously, but when you're the sole founder and you're bootstrapping it, you get to make these decisions. You get an intuitive hit, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to put X amount of money on this truck that's going to drive around New York City and promote my product, or I'm going to bring all these cases to an event. And that ROI, sometimes it's not easily measurable, but it's so powerful. And we know, even through the network marketing industry, which you and I have some experience in, we know it's word of mouth. And that's what builds that loyalty, and that's what builds the legacy. So tell me about working with your brother. Yeah. How's that for you guys? Because there's so many different partnerships out there, but you guys make it one hell of a team.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like there's pros and cons to family business, because the pro is you trust this person more than anything and you love them more than anything. And then the con is you miss that person just being your sibling, and you don't have to think about money. And so I always think about this with couples who work together. I'm like, God, I think there's so many pros and cons. It's beautiful because it's going to the same bank account. You guys are working towards the same mission. The bad part is now you guys are stressing about money all the time. It's like, man, I remember the days that we wouldn't talk about money together, and money changes things. It really does. It's an interesting energy that even when you're doing well, you're still trying to figure shit out. So it never really goes away, and you got to work on your relationship to that, So
do you guys take time to just do brother sister things?
Oh yeah. We hang out all the time. He's like one of my best friends. He's very, very silly. And so we are always just farting around, and I'm always the clown, his little sister, weird, silly clown who has the weird, crazy ideas. And he's like, oh my God, dude, like you're insane. And so our dynamic is Mike is, I would say, CEO, left brain. I'm not the CEO of Soul. I think a lot of people think I am, which is so cute and so sweet. I'm like, oh, that's so fun. But I am not. I am not born to be a CEO. I don't want to hire and fire people and do all that. So I'm the creative. I help with a lot of new ideas when it comes to products, naming it. I help with some copy, the social media team. I meet with a girl here, Sarah, who is local, and we're getting a lot of the content. I am social and creative and influencers. Yes. I am not anything else with the business. And I like to be very transparent about that because I don't want to lie to women and act like I'm the CEO. I'm like, no, this is definitely him running this. And I've taken a step back a bit and I've really tried to assess where I can help the most because I see myself as a creator first.
Yeah.
I like creating content. I'm a content creator. I love making funny videos. I like making people laugh, making people think. That's really what I love to do. I love speaking. I don't want to be in spreadsheets. I don't want to be doing P&Ls. That's not where my strengths really lie. And so I think being honest about that, really knowing where your strengths are. And we, thank goodness, had strengths and weaknesses that complemented each other.
That's huge. That's huge for partners always. If
Yeah.
you can live in your zone of genius, then that really is a beautiful partnership. Okay, your recent post, Soft Girl Era, made me depressed. I want to talk about that. What happened before?
Oh my God, I've been interviewed so many times on this. This is going viral.
It's going viral, girl. You knew I was going to ask.
Yeah. I had a feeling. I'm like, wow. The podcast I had before this, we talked about it too. So it's a thing right now. I'm like, I thought I was alone. I'm like, no, I'm not.
You're not alone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, I think I was trying to put words to something that I've been thinking about for a while. And I think with social media, you see two different extremes. And we always know the answer is somewhere in the middle. But we see, you know, at least here in America, I feel like there was this big trad wife movement with like 2020. And it was like, okay, sourdough and don't be too ambitious. And, you know, make sure that you wear a sundress and this is how you be a feminine goddess and you got to get some chickens and all of that. And I was like, okay, maybe I should go do that. And then you got like, I'd be like, what do I do with these freaking chickens? I don't know. It sounds so stressful. I can't. Oh my God. I'm choosing either chickens or kids. I'm not doing both. Why would I put that stress on myself? Hell no. So, and then there's, you know, the hardcore other sides like girl boss or boss babe. And it's like this idea that this girl only works and doesn't care about anything else. And it's just money and screw my family. And I'm just being a girl boss who's successful. And it's like, okay, both extremes are so extreme. The answer is somewhere in the middle. And I think that what happened is I found myself in this interesting season where I tested it out because I was at the place where I worked so hard where I could do that. And it's fun for a little bit, but I quickly realized that my personality type specifically, and that could be very different for a woman who's listening who maybe doesn't have that same personality type. My personality type specifically is not made to be that still. I need some challenge. I have a lot of fire and creativity in me. I need to be stimulated. I need to be busy. I need to be working towards something. Because if not, I create chaos. I really, really do. And I think I learned a lot about myself experiencing both extremes. And now I'm like, okay, how do I do both? And I want to be somewhere in the middle, especially once I have kids. And I want to like figure out a way to do creative work that I love and be obsessed with that while also still, of course, the biggest thing that matters to me is family. And like, I want to do that well. And so it's finding that balance is like really something I've been studying and thinking about and talking to other women about and really fascinated by the last few years. And I'm really glad I experienced both sides because now I have a very holistic picture of it. And I think for a lot of women that follow me and probably who listen to this that are very ambitious, that's not a bad thing. And I think we've been taught this ambition is too much or it's too masculine or it's whatever these weird terms. We have always these new trendy terms. It's like, I don't know. I think it's just who I am. I think I was born to do a lot of interesting things here on this planet and use my brain in that way and share my gifts. And the reality is when you don't share those gifts, it feels like you're dying inside. And I think that, you know, sometimes that's just the sign from God that like you have things that you need to get out of your system and to share. And so, yeah, I've been having this conversation with a lot of different women and even moms who are like, listen, I love my kids. I love them to death, obviously. And being a mom is not enough. And it's so controversial to say out loud, but it's like, okay, like that's fascinating to even hear. They're like, I need a creative outlet in addition to my children. I just do. And I think we're not even supposed to like say that now as women. But so I think I started to have these really deep, honest, real conversations with women. I realized I'm like, the happiest ones, one, seem to really know who they are and what makes them happy. And two, I think the answer is the unsexy middle. It's not really like, oh, I'm either this or this. It's like, I kind of want to dance with a few things in my life and I'm very multi-passionate. And it was an interesting season for sure, but it was it was really hard on my brain
Oh my God. And
to
I
do that.
relate so much. So I went through the boss girl era, but that was also
Yeah.
pre-kids. Like this is the thing. There's different
Yeah.
stages of life, and how I was
Yeah.
working and achieving and performing pre-kids simply was not sustainable when I had my first
Yeah.
daughter. And that's really what knocked me down. I was like, holy shit, like how do I do it all? And I can only say
Mm.
right now, like my girls are 7 and 9. I finally have found my balance, my rhythm. They're
Yeah.
older, they can play now and they entertain each other.
Yeah.
Whereas it's so hands on in the years prior. And it's something that I didn't want to outsource. Like, yes, we had support, but I didn't want a full time nanny. I wanted to do both. And so it was figuring out, okay, how does that look like for our family? And every person's different, every family unit's different. And then when I sold my company 2022, I went into the soft girl era. We moved to Mexico. And one, coaching business wasn't really like, it wasn't flowing the way that it did 2 years prior. And so I took time and I said, okay, I'm going to find my feminine. What does this look and feel like? There was no creation, no creativity, no vision. And I realized for myself, like not having,
Which is not feminine at all.
right?
Like when you think about it, like being creative is the most feminine thing you
Oh
can
my
do. So that's why it's like
so
yeah,
twisted. And for me, like
so
not
twisted.
having the vision, it actually felt depressing. And so, like, that's why I related to your post so much is like, okay, yes, we hear all these things, but find your harmony, find your balance. And so then it was really coming into that middle. And for every single one of us, it's going to look different. And yes, you can see shit on social media, but find your own rhythm, find your own pace. And so no longer just hustling for the business, the accolades, the results, but I get to do it both. I get to do parenthood consciously. I get to build businesses that fuel me, and I get to have fun along the way, right? And so that's kind of my middle. What does your middle look and feel like right now?
Yeah, I mean, I love that. That's like my goal. So you're living my dream, which is really what I would love to do. Hopefully will be a mom soon. And so I I would love to do both. And I think having kids, I mean, now in my 30s versus if I would have in my 20s is such a gift because they say you're never ready, but I actually argue that it's the most important job in the world. And if you can be a little bit more ready, absolutely be more ready. So I don't like that whole, like, you'll never be ready. I'm like, there are people who wish they were more financially and emotionally ready to have children and wish they would have waited. So I know it's like controversial to say, but I'm seeing instead of shaming myself about it, I'm seeing the beauty and like, wait, like I know who I am now at 35 so much more. And like, I have a different understanding of life and work and balance now that I'm not really scared anymore of like figuring out that dance because I know I'll have help. I know we have the resources to hire help and have my mom and I have that. So I'm not really scared of it as much as even a few years ago. So yeah, my dream would be to, I want to be a really, really good mom. I mean, that's always been one of my biggest dreams. And I am so excited for that. But I also know that if I give up this part of me, I think that I will end up maybe resenting myself and my children. And so I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to figure it out because I think I'm here to show my kids that. I think that they're going to want, I think they are choosing, whoever chooses me, I want them to, I think they're choosing a mom who isn't designed to necessarily not do anything in addition to her children, which that's fine if that's you listening. That I think that's beautiful, but I don't know if my brain works like that. I don't know. I don't know if I can be with a 1.5-year-old all day long listening to booby bop music and not be stimulated in other ways. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to say it. I don't know. But I'm like, also can't wait to be a mom. So I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I want to be a mom of older kids though. I'm not excited about the beginning years. I'm like, I just want like a 10-year-old
Oh my
right
gosh.
now.
You're gonna be
So we'll see.
Yes, you're gonna love every stage.
But I'd love to.
You're gonna love every
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Listen, it's fucking hard and everyone will tell you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I look at baby videos now, I'm like, oh my God, that feels so long ago. And they're still quite young. And it's like each stage comes with the lesson. And I feel like now the consciousness that I have is you guys are my most important project. That's where I've landed and grounded because there's moments of frustration and, when they're younger, they're crying and unable to express themselves. Then as they get older, we've done so much work in the personal growth space is like, okay, emotional intelligence and supporting them to really express themselves the way that they desire. So I'll bring this in. So my daughter, my youngest is a manifestor in human design. She's fucking wild. It's her way or the highway. And my
Yeah.
oldest is a Manny Jen, and she's a Pisces, and she's emotional. And so the way that I parent them is so different. But if I hadn't done the
Uh,
work before, there'd be no
yeah.
conscious awareness of this. And so the way that I have to support Sophie, she's a natural leader, is she needs to lead.
Mm.
And isn't that crazy to say, like, oh, my kids lead me? But I'm telling you, if it
Yeah.
doesn't go this way, it's chaos. And so it's not
Yeah.
necessarily leading, but it's supporting her um, to tell me what she wants. And with
Yeah.
Maya, it's like yes or no questions. Do you want this or this? Where that doesn't work with the little one, right? So it's like you are
Yeah.
going to love every single part of it because you have that conscious awareness and you've done things really mindfully and you've
Mm.
done the work on yourself.
Yeah.
And so, is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. You're bringing a human into the picture that comes with their
Yeah.
own soul's purpose, their own
Yeah.
path, their own emotions.
Mm.
But like, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
And so now
Yeah.
at this stage, I look at them, I'm like,
Mm.
you guys are my most important project. When everything else may not be working, or maybe it is, they're
Yeah.
still my most important project.
For sure. But it's almost like they're your most important, but is the way that you see it, I'm curious, is that they're the most important, obviously, but they're not the only project you're here
Exactly.
to have in the world.
I need all the
Yeah.
other, like, I love building business.
Mm.
I love having impact. I love being out there. And
Yeah.
when that was my main priority and focus, then that side suffered. And so it was that recalibration of like, okay, what is the most important? And it's the household. This is the
Mm.
nucleus. Everything also gets to thrive. Cause I feel like, remember the whole sacrifice
Yeah.
era? Like, oh, if this
Yeah.
is thriving, then everything else has to go to
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So it's like we start with the
Yeah.
nucleus and build everything out, and having them witness mom thriving,
Mm.
succeeding, speaking on stages, running this podcast. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm getting them involved with everything. And I think that for them is huge for
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah. I was going to say, you're at the fun stage where they, oh, shoot, I'm echoing. Oh, no.
You sound great
Oh,
to me.
no. Oh, God. Do you think it's going to show up on the recording, the echo?
You sound really good.
Okay. I'm like,
We're-
I hope it doesn't. Do you think that will show up on your recording, though, or no?
I don't think so because I don't hear it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm like, I hope not. That would be not good for your recording. But yeah, no, you're at the fun age right now where they're starting to really watch you and see what you do. And so now it even is more important to say, okay, this is, this is how mom finds happiness. And this is mom finds happiness also outside of you. And that's like, I think that's really cool and inspiring. I think when they're one, they don't like really get that yet. But I feel like that your daughter's ages they're really learning and watching you, which is really
Yeah,
cool.
and then
So I love that you're doing
thank
that.
you. And then mom becomes the inspiration. So you're going to have this experience. I'm really
Yeah.
excited for you. Anything else
Oh, thanks.
that maybe I missed that you'd love to share?
No, I'm trying. I mean, anything else you want to know? But I loved this conversation. I think it's just so cool to, share the realities of what it looks like to, especially the product business stuff. I think a lot of people are curious about it, and I think that there's pros and cons to every business model. I don't think any business model is perfect and easy, but I think it depends what season of life you're into. Like people will say, like, oh, when you sell soul, like, do you want to start another one? And I'm like, I don't know if I would do a physical product again. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. It really depends. I'd have to be really obsessed with the product. I'd have to have a really great team to do it with. I would have to have an integrator. I think it'd be something in the mom space. Like I would create like something that's not out there or something. But if not, I'm like, no, I don't want to do the headaches that come with it.
When you launch
I just-
another product business, I'm going to pull this episode up because I got to tell you,
Right.
I said the same thing when we sold. And now I have an itch to do a product-based business. I do.
That's crazy. See, I never really wanted to. I don't know. We'll see. I would have to have a really big team to do it with. You know what I mean? That's the problem is I couldn't do it alone. And so if it was something in the mom space, I'd either have to like do something again with Mike, or I don't know, I'd have to hire all new people. So I don't know. It's so funny. Everyone's like that. I think everyone's going in different ways, but I'm like, I kind of want to go back into like the education space and courses and selling stuff like that. Cause to me, I'm like, oh my God, it's so fun. It's so easy. And like your ability to just make money in a fun, easy way and have no overhead and no team really. I'm like, I can't believe I didn't realize how easy it was when I was doing just that.
What
Yeah.
you're
So if you're launching a course, ladies, it's very easy compared
compared to
to
physical product. And okay, so you've
Yeah.
also said you're most happiest with mic in hand. So are you going to be hosting more
Yeah.
events? You have a top rated
Mm.
podcast, you have a product based business, you do
Yeah.
coaching, like you do so much.
Yeah.
What
Mhm.
are we going to see more events from you?
Yeah, I think so. I think we I just did one, what about in June called Recess. That was super
Epic.
fun. I think what I would love to do is I want to keep hosting. There's this one event I did, it was a live podcast event called The Girls Bathroom, and that was super fun. And so it's essentially like honest girl talk, and that was a really cool experience. So I'm noodling. I'm kind of noodling on what my next event will be. Events are so they take a
They
lot
do.
out of me, and so I'm kind of like trying to figure it out in this season, but they're so fun. But I wish that they
Or
just
easier.
it's like they're the best thing ever. But they take so much work. So it's like this, it's like a constant, pros and cons.
Constant maybe with a question mark. I love it. Okay, back to
Yeah,
courses.
but no, I love events.
Courses are easy, people.
Yeah.
Like if you're running courses,
Oh my
just
God.
keep in mind there's other businesses that are way harder.
For sure. And I feel bad saying that because there's always a hard and everything, but it's like, dang. But no, I love events. I was born to put on events. It's my bread and butter. It's what I love to do, and I'm good at it. And I love it. But I want to figure out a way to, yeah, like what do I want events to look like now? Because I don't want to do it the way I used to do it. These huge big conferences, 3 days, we're inside a hotel room. Like I'm not doing that. That's boring. No. So I'm trying to figure out how do I create experiences now for women that I think women really want versus just putting together something that I think you have to do because the industry said this is the way it's supposed to be. So that's kind of what I've been noodling
I
on.
love it. I think Recess was a good example of you doing it your
so
way, and it was so fun. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, the doors will open themselves. Okay, I have 3 final questions for you. So, your future
Yes.
self, Angie Lee, 20 years from today, what message is she telling you now?
Oh my God. I'll be 55. Jesus Christ. Oh God, I don't ever want to be 55. That's horrible to say. I shouldn't say that. Oh my God. Oh, no, that's still young. I'll be hot.
So
I'll still be
hot.
I'm going to get a facelift. I'll be fine. 55. Wow. Oh my God. What is she thinking?
What
Or
is
is
she
what's the
telling
question?
Angie Lee
Jeez.
today? So, you today, what wisdom is she sharing with you?
Oh my God. Does it need to be business or life or just,
Anything.
yeah. Honestly, I've kind of had that thought lately because I think the last few years of my life have been really, really hard. And I think that my early 30s have been really hard as a woman. And so I think that I hope when I'm in my 50s, I look back and I'm like, girl, you weren't behind. Girl, you're good. Girl, you're fine. Like don't like rushing to have kids, like doing like all the societal pressures. And now I'm scared I'm too late. And like all this stuff, it's just been so stressful on me and my body. And I'm like, you know what? I feel like my 55-year-old self, she's going to be like, girl,
We
calm
did it.
down. Calm the fuck down. So that's what I think she's going to say is like, it all worked out. You figured it out. Stop freaking out. So sometimes I try to tell myself that because I'm like, you're going to look back and these are like the best years of your life in your 30s. Like why so much of my 30s so far have been so stressful. And I'm like ready for 35 to 40 to just, I pray that 35 to 40 is so good for me because 30 to 35 was not the best. So I'm like, okay, I really want it to be just really like joyful and feel good and just be awesome.
I
So
love it. I think that's
yeah.
huge for anyone right now stressing and overthinking and doubting and worrying and just it's all going to work out the way that it's meant
Yeah.
to for your highest good, for like all of highest good. It's like calm the fuck
Yeah.
down. That's the message.
Right.
What are you currently feeling deep gratitude for?
I'm feeling such deep gratitude. Whoa, I mixed those words. Deep gratitude for, I mean, it's so cool to live in a city where my brother, like now, we live basically right by him and we all hang out. And it's so cool to live in a city with your family and working with your family. And my mom also lives here part-time now because my brother just had a kid. And so she's here. So it's like my nephew and my mom and my brother and Clay. And like we all just hang out, my brother's girlfriend, Hannah. And it's just so cool. It's like, what a dream to be able to like live in the same city as your family. And I never, ever thought all of us would end up here in Austin, Texas. It's so random, but I think that that's such a blessing that my younger self, when I was a teenager, just, picking on my brother on the way to school, just would have been like, really? you think that's cool, but now I'm like, that's all that matters. Like, it's so cool. It's such a
This
gift.
is it.
And I love it. So
Yeah, this is it. The nucleus,
yeah.
the family being together, and everything
Yeah.
gets to grow from that. And my final question for you, babe, what's your definition of prosperity?
Oh my God, that's so good. I think prosperity basically kind of means being rich, right? Like being prosperous. I think it means being alive. It means feeling alive.
Oh, good.
Like if you feel aliveness in your marriage and your business and your parenthood and your health, like it doesn't mean it's perfect because aliveness means you feel the entire spectrum of life. But if you're feeling alive, you're onto something. And that's always my goal is how do I do more things that make me feel alive?
So good. That's a mic drop. And where can we find you?
Yeah, go to angielee.com, Angie Lee Show on Instagram, getsoul.com if you want to try soul or out of office. You're going to freaking love it. But yeah, send me a DM, say hi. I'd love to say hello to you. And this was so fun.
So good. And are you shipping to Canada or you're just States right now?
Oh my God, I wish.
Canada's a pain in
We
the
have
ass.
so many Canadian girls.
I know.
We have so many Canadian girls. It's the darn border. Here's what you guys can do. Off record, but on record. You got to have like a U.S. friend send you some socks in the mail if you know what I'm saying.
Okay. We will do that. I need my hands on this. I mean, I'm in Mexico most of the year, but like I need my hands on this. And I got to tell you, like I take THC for sleep and
Nice. Oh, I can't wait for you to wait. So where do you get it then?
Here.
In Canada?
Here, but I want to try your product. It's honestly,
When's the next time you're in the U.S.? Because you
I
travel,
travel
a lot,
a
right?
lot. So as soon as I step foot in the US, I'm getting myself product because I'm really
Yeah,
crazy
because I can
about
just send you some or order some to wherever you're going to be, like a hotel or Airbnb. I mean, I have many Canadian girls who are like, I'm going to an event next month, so I'm already ready to like ship it there and then bring it back home.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the darn border, I don't know. They're just so strict.
Oh,
It's like everybody calm down.
that plus Health Canada. I mean, any like supplement brand,
Yeah.
that industry in Canada with the regulations, it's absolutely insane. So I get it.
Yeah.
Eventually, but yeah, I definitely need to try it because for me, you know, I've been an anxious sleeper for since I was young, and then I started traveling alone in my early 20s, and that never got better. And so for me, it's like sleep is the most important because I'm not a cool person when I don't sleep, right? So
Same.
it's like if we can have something to support us, I'm all for it. So excited where you guys are going.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time and make sure you guys follow along. Angie is amazing. Until next time. Thank you. Thanks for joining me on today's episode of the Prosperity Playground podcast. If this convo sparked something in you, be sure to follow the show on Apple Podcasts so you never miss your weekly activation. If you enjoyed the conversation, please rate and review. Your feedback helps us reach more souls just like you who are ready to calibrate to their most prosperous life. Know someone who needs this frequency boost? Share the episode to Instagram and tag me @_Anna Lozano so we can grow our energetically aligned community together. And please remember, true prosperity is about alignment, freedom, expansion, and embodying your worth today. See you on the next activation.